Put in a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
How did you do that? I don't know.
Mysterious ways. Portals, man. Portals.
Good evening. Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to this edition of the Orion Effect. This show is sponsored by GOS, Ghosts of Stanton, Virginia. Get your tours in today. It's in the Shenandoah Valley. They go all season long now. So make sure to check it out. It's an amazing tour, amazing people. Also, it is sponsored by Booze Paranormal Equipment, the right equipment for the right price for the right person. Blah, almost got tongue-tied. However, right now we need to send prayers and love out to Ron and Michelle Woods.
Yes.
Unfortunately, today we found out their home burnt down. So,
oh my!
So please look for Booze Paranormal. Send you love. Get if you can help, whatever it takes. But yeah, some sad news I saw when I got on getting the show up, and I'll be talking to Ron a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad news. Let's get into it. I am the cosmic social media surfer himself. I am the hitman.
And I am the hangman.
I'm Rhonda. Now I got two of these guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with two of them. I feel outnumbered.
What an interesting show. Hello, everybody. And I'm going to hand that on over to Rhonda. And let her say her
All
hellos.
right, all right, all right. Hold on. My mouse would work. Hello, Lois. Long time no see. Sarah, Keith Ottersberg, thanks for sharing us out. I see people are slowly joining in, so everybody's probably just finishing up dinner.
Yeah, I've been in. If you're out there and just acknowledge, say hi, let us know you're there. We appreciate you being here. All of you travelers and those. So tonight's show is not of our norm show. Tonight we're actually aiming our look instead of I see use the GUNS word, so I don't get in trouble with YouTube, Facebook, and the
we don't need
regime out there.
Yes.
I'm going to say we're going to aim our telescopes out into the universe. We're going to get our surfboards together, and we're actually going to talk about what this show is truly based on, and that's universal secrets. And it's not even secrets, but it's some weird stuff that has taken place on this planet, and that it's something that we really need to talk about, and this show is long overdue. I'm going to say that. Hello. Joe is in the house. Miss Carrie Lynn. Carrie Lynn. We love our Carrie Lynn.
We do love our Carrie Lynn.
Hello, and thank you. And Keith, again, thank you. Again, appreciate that. Sarah is one of our newer travelers, so we want to welcome her to the show. Sarah, it's a pleasure, and thank you for being here. Absolutely. Absolutely, thank you. Not very often you see this man with us. He decided to come on and hang out when we about the show because him and someone else, which I need to send this to, have been talking to me about it for the last 2 weeks, and I went, "Oh wow!" And here we are getting ready to do the show. So I'm just like, "This is what I'm talking about." So with that, hey Rhonda, let's before we get into the show, why don't you tell us how your weekend went at Belgrove and
oh my gosh,
into that a little bit, and then
we had our last lockdown at Belgrove. I mean, I know we'll be there some more. We had our last lockdown for the year. It was let me just tell you this: on the way to Belgrove, some massive storms came through. Mm-hmm. When I say massive, I mean I had to pull over on the side of the road for 20 minutes. I couldn't drive because I could not see.
Wow!
Multiple people were pulled over the side of the road because they could not see. So we had that storm, and I really that storm energy kicked up, and we got some really we had a huge turnout. Usually our lockdowns we have 2 tickets. You have 7 to 12, 12:30, and then you have 7 to 5 in the morning. So your pick what you want to do. We usually have like 5 to 7 people that want to do till the 5 in the morning. We had 20.
Oh wow.
We had 20. So it was a good time. My group was in the basement, which Howie, I know you're familiar with the basement. And we were getting some good activity. We had a whole bunch of equipment set up. We had this table set up that had a cat ball, a K2. Around the table, we had a tripwire. I had a K2 sitting in the chair next to me and a tripwire behind me down towards the hall. Mm-hmm. We were getting so much activity with things lighting up. I said, okay, let's make this fun. Light up the cat ball, the tripwire, the K2, the tripwire. And within 2 seconds, it went tripwire, cat ball, K2, tripwire.
Okay.
Not the order I told it to, but it wasn't like there was a pause. It was like light. It was insane. So yeah, we had 20 people till 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. So I think the numbers were closer to like 30 overall, 30, 35 total for the night. But the majority
very cool. Very cool.
Fort Royal was flooded when I came through. When I finally was able to drive, Howie, and I got in front of Horns, there's about 4 inches of water standing.
Ooh. Phew. Now that was a heck of a storm. We haven't had anything. Of course, I'm down here in the North Carolina studios, this evening, where the Outlaws go out of. And good drive here Friday night. Got here at 12:30. Thought it was 1:30. It's crazy. A crazy night.
There it goes with the whole Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's been, since we're bringing that up, since it is part of the energy, the universal energy, etc. The whole weekend has been definitely kind of flip flop and just kind of wacky. Yeah, I don't. We totally disconnected from social media. I've spoke to Sarah just a few times, but we've kind of just like done the away from social media, done away from talking to most people we do. That's how I just found out about Boost Paranormal. Because I'm getting on the show and I'm like, wow, what the hell? See, you can go away for 24 to 36 hours and it's amazing what changes.
Yeah. Because there was a huge storm that just came through Ashland earlier. We missed it. I came through after it, coming back from Fredericksburg, but so I don't know when it all occurred, but ooh, bless them.
Yep, and then Sarah's hitting up with the full freaking moon too. Yeah,
absolutely. Throw that in the mix with all the however many planets are in retrograde right now. It's a mess. It's a mess out there. Just buckle up and stay calm, y'all, and grounded. That's all I can say.
True that. Nice to see Mama Susan out there. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know if we are live on Facebook or not, and if we are,
we are. I've got it up on my phone. We are.
Okay. I know that Susan had an issue Friday with going live on Facebook, so we appreciate you all being here. We really do.
Friday, I don't know what's going on Friday. I had several people who had issues with Facebook on Friday.
Yeah, it probably is a Facebook thing. Lois says, and 2 T squares, as Joni and Keith are talking about. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Keith said 5 are in retrograde. It's a crazy energy, that's for sure. And then you put this full moon as an Aquarius, which Aquarius is all about rebellion and social norms and standing up for the people. It's a little crazy.
Yeah, well, then that's I think that's really what's going on. And I think that's why we're doing this show tonight too, because this is now one of the shows that we normally do. And speaking of which, tonight we're going to be talking about this man right here. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Daniel Nims. Okay, Nims, Nemes. Look at me, I'm actually getting technical and putting stuff out there. That's great. That's probably the only picture you're getting out of us, because the rest of it I can't do because of copyright. However, I will bring that back up. This is the only picture, unless you zap it off, of Dr. Daniel Sims, by the way, and we'll explain that why in just a minute. And yeah, you are seeing what could be an alien behind him. There's a reason behind that. His work is going to really intrigue you tonight. But what's also going to intrigue you is what happened to him. That's the interesting part. We're also going to be talking about another gentleman that leads us into segment part number 2, if we get in there. We're going to be talking about portals and jumps on our planet, one location to another, and forestries and missing people. So we're going to get into a little in depth of what we don't usually do. And I'm really excited about doing that.
That's funny, because I've had 2 people talk to me in the last couple of days about skips in time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something else that's becoming a quiet, big subject that is truly an oxymoron. But however, it is the fact of how there is a question about time right now. A lot of people, and I see the whole question, are we mixing into dimensions, et cetera, that's coming back up big time.
Yeah.
My brother has brought to me a conversation that Joni and Keith had about October 8th and 9th. I'm not getting into that. That's not my part. That's Joni and Keith. But go back and look at that show last Monday, and what's coming up. Go look at the dates. Now, these are several different periods this year that people are going, something's going to happen, something's going to happen, something's going to happen. Stars are lining up. Certain events are taking place.
There's also other people that aren't too sensitive to energies that are all of a sudden being very sensitive to things, asking what's going on.
Yeah.
There you go. So it's actually rock on. It's actually becoming a bigger subject right now. Sarah says that explains the attitudes I've encountered. Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. UFO sightings are becoming frequent lately. You know, I haven't heard as much about that. I'm not gonna lie. However, the quantum is coming forward, so then maybe there's the problem. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. So maybe my ufology is mixing in with my science, mixing in with the paranormal, which we know this is fact. By the way, let me go on record and say this for anybody or any company or any group that's might out there, all and stated unless researched on this show is opinionated. If you decide to fact check us, make sure you understand the statements that we use before you attempt to fact check us. We're basing it on specifics and locations and our opinions. We just want to make sure we politely put that out in the public.
Yep.
I did that so good. I'm so happy with myself. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everybody's looking around. I guess they agree now. So yes, we'll make sure we put that out there. Sarah says, I completely believe in dimensional switching. Oh, now this is the show to be on tonight.
Yes, it is.
Keith Ottersberg, several mediums and astrologers are talking about multiple timeline merging to repair true timeline. See, there you go. Because I think some things have some people, some intelligent life out there have been messing with and done something to affect timelines. And this show is the show you're going to hear about it first right tonight. Hi, Miss Linda. How are you? And thank you for being here. Another traveler in the house.
Well, with the multiple timelines and the multiple galaxies, that goes into what we were talking about the scientist, the physicist. I can't remember his name.
You talking about Daniel?
Yes.
Daniel Nims.
Daniel Nims. Yes. With his theories and everything, which I'll let Howie dive into more deep, the man has disappeared. And there's a couple theories as to why he has. Whether he's actually opened up a portal or merged with another dimension, or was kidnapped by interdimensional beings for opening up said portal, or the government has taken him and hidden him away.
You're jumping ahead.
That's why I said I was letting you handle it.
You weren't.
You could have cut me off anytime.
Oh, you started talking. I'm not going to be rude.
Hey, he's just giving the synopsis that you give before you give the detail.
That's right. Exactly.
I'm warming
Tell
up.
him before you tell him.
Thank you for putting the glove on and the lube. Cough.
I'll let you hammer it home.
That's what she said. Yeah, tonight there is a couple of videos, not just one, but several videos, and we urge you to go to YouTube. And this is why. Any and everything we say tonight about Dr. Daniel Nims, it cannot be found. There's no pictures. There is no project results. There is no project information that's available at this point in time about Dr. Daniel Nims. Why do I keep wanting to say so? Oh, David Sims. That's why. I don't know. David must be on my mind. Daniel Nims. He is a quantum physicist who came up with something called quantum vision. And his research using his technology, his thoughts, cover up, it's a very good possibility. John Titor, Art Bell. And these are good points, Joe. Actually good points, because We are going to talk a little bit about John if we have time tonight, because John Titer 2 is actually a friend of mine. Unfortunately, I did not meet him face to face, but I had plenty of conversations with him and his companion. That's the word I'm going to use, because he never said, you can't use wife because I'm not real. Whoa. Okay. Been wiped. Yes, it has been wiped. And Michelle LeBlanc, I want to say thank you and I appreciate you being here. She's like summarizing. Yes, he definitely did that.
Right. He just gave the cliff notes. We'll dive in.
Exactly. And Joe goes 1977 wow signal. Well, the wow signal, we're not going to get into that tonight, but very good point. Michelle says, excited about the topic. Thank you for sharing knowledge with us. Absolutely, Michelle, and thank you for being here. She is one of our new travelers. She has joined us in the last 2 weeks. And thank you to all of you that have started to tune in and watch us and what's on our mind. What's going down? Oh, that's
a different show.
Right. That's next week. But in this, his research started bleeding into military technology or research. Maybe it is technology. And what he did is he developed a camera. And see, they don't say camera, a device.
Yeah, it was more like a visor or camera. Basically what it was is it's something to me that reminded me of like thermal vision with radar. And what this did, it's like a device that would pick up energies in any given area. So like, for example, from the way I understood it is, say you're doing an EMF scan and you find a energy anomaly. You put this device on or look with this device, you will see what the anomaly is.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like a high-tech SLS.
Kind of like that. But now we in the paranormal field believe or feel that we have a similar device or piece of equipment. Not as high tech.
Yeah, right.
Colors. We have the full spectrum camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, in what he created, Dr. Nims,
you could actually see the full thing.
Right. It's kind of like an Orion, where information that's given out has shown that Dr. Nims's pieces of equipment actually showed dimensional beings, actually showed and broke through the barrier of what we know. Now, this is interesting. This is why we're talking about this tonight, because there's a lot of paranormal people here and a lot of spiritual people here.
Yeah.
And there might be people here who had no idea. And now they can go, holy shit moment. This is great. That's what we want. Hey, Monica. Hello. So what he developed was almost like a dimensional coverage device, looking and piercing through what we know, the veil, into another world or into other worlds or into dimensions. Now, today, I did a little bit more research along with Jim. And if we look at the bigger picture, hey, Renee, thank you. If you look in our universe and listen to the science world, the first thought with the Hubble central theory, is that the universe is expanding at light speed.
At the same exact speed all around.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, we're kind of like, we're doing the whole WF thing right now. Calm down, cuttlefish.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, they also have also said too here recently that being there's more advanced tech than with the Hubble telescope, that they theorize now that the universe isn't expanding at one speed, that it varies. You know, it's like instead of going like a bubble expanding, it's actually kind of like
quantum bubble theory.
Yeah. You know, like foam.
Yeah. And now with that theory, they've also expanded into the fact that now the scientific world is believing the quantum physics where they're seeing evidence of other dimensions inside of another dimension, other universes in another universe on a separate level completely, which are expanding and contracting at a slower rate and at a larger rate in the bubble theory.
Yeah.
So universe. Now, a lot of people out there going, wait, thought there was only one universe. Universe, dimension, thought, process. Here we go. Buckaroo. Damn you. Get out of my head, Kenny.
Robert.
So not only do we have our one universe that is expanding,
Breathing.
and it's billions and billions of years old, but now they have deducted by using quantum physics and layering that there are multiple universes on a layering and inside of each other.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there it goes. Rhonda just went, oh, crap.
And
I'm breathing like that because but also because it's just ironic how we get on topics. And I had a guy last night say to me, I don't believe in ghosts. Here's what I believe.
Mhm.
And he was talking about dimensions and levels and future and past. And I was like, I'm not saying it wrong.
We're actually going to touch base with that.
So it's just like, I take the same, like, okay, well, clearly I need to be learning this stuff. So let me just buckle up. Buckling up.
Before we leave Keats, he said David Wilcox was explaining about different parts of the galaxy and the universe. Daggone it all.
Kenny again.
No, that's not Kenny. That was me. That was my boob.
Oh.
Yeah. A galaxy and the universe moving at different speeds and quantum level. Exactly. Yes. David Wilcox is one of the scientists we were actually discussing. This is very true.
Yeah.
And Keith, you're right. It's like breathing, but it's multiple living. Here's another word: living locations, kind of like a parasite inside your body.
I was saying, is it like multiplying cells?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Multiplying cells, but they're on a universal level. Now, gets really interesting. We're going to go back a little bit. Let's get back to Dr. Nims and what happened with him and what's going on. Renee says a living, breathing organism. Exactly. Sarah's like, there are layers of dimensions like an onion. Here we go with the onion thing.
Now, see, talking about this just gave me a theory that I thought was kind of cool, because you think about it. We're talking about, say, the universe is cells replicating and building, just like any living organism.
Mm-hmm.
This universe is filled with all sorts of living organisms, except for solid matter. But even then, that solid matter at an atom is multiplied. It's replicated and blended with other molecules.
Okay, now it's like, where are you going with this, Kenny?
So it's like, if the universe is a living organism that is cells reproducing and reproducing and reproducing, like the universe is constantly expanding with all these galaxies and everything. Who's to say this is not a living organism? It's actually just like the cells in a living organism.
I'm not going to say what I was getting ready to say, but I almost said something that could be against religious belief. But it was very interesting. And I think I'm going to go ahead and say it.
You could say, because I might have been going down the staff. My first thought was shamanism and how they believe everything is alive.
Yes.
Everything.
Maybe we live inside God.
That is a good possibility.
The great source. Maybe the reason why we don't know God is because we are inside the greater spirit.
I mean, that's like Viking. Was it Viking lore who said that we live in a giant's blue eye?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
let's we are God in spirit. There you go. Renee says pocket of dimensions everywhere. Absolutely. We are just the mitochondrial organisms inside this.
Mitochondrial.
Yeah, I'm reading it too damn fast in my eyes. The cells sneak away. And of course, there are other cells. And you're all right. That's the thing. This is all right. We've got nothing to go on and say anybody are ever wrong. So it does make an interesting point of the greater source could be the greater source is all things, and we all are because we are inside. It is a very possible thing. Joe, it is said we are parts of the body. Yeah, and I totally agree. Getting back to Dr. Daniel Nims, once he created this device, I know, sorry, you guys, but as you know, this show, we talk and then rabbit holes get created. We're going to talk about that in just a second.
Yep.
Universal rabbit holes.
Mm.
So, which will go into the paranormal, spiritual, and all things wonderful. So, what he did is he actually was able to take pictures. When he took these pictures, he took it to the science, community,
Mm.
and they started discussing how is this possible? How is this things? Now, something that Jim said this weekend caught my mind. It's kind of like looking through a spectroscope. As you turn it, shapes change because the shape inside and the beads change, which is a reflective light, making different shapes. We as human beings only see 30% of the true color spectrum.
Yes.
Right.
And that is the same thing with energy. Now, thinking about his piece of equipment, could it be something that he projects out that it grabs the energy, but every time he moves it or changes up, that it creates something new? Now, this is just a theory. Just a theory I've been thinking of, like, how is the possibility? Because the scientific world, there are those in the scientific world that believe in his work or what he did. Note the word did.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, how is this possible? How could you have seen that? We've got proof that it's possible because we have the full spectrum camera. So with that being said, it is intriguing that the science world or any other paranormal or quantum physics researcher can believe that it is not possible when we have minor equipment that proves the major equipment exists. Oh, this is interesting. Snera Sentinel and Citizens of Suspend. Yesterday I saw the kid doing a lot of, look, mom, no hands, but I give him credit for being high-spirited, considered that he was a double amputee. Okay, you know what?
Wow.
I thank you for that. Now I'm going to watch that account, but that was an interesting and very insightful statement. I'm going to call
here down my page. Quantum theory, the mind affects reality.
Yes,
We're all one and we're all connected. That was my first thought, is if we live inside spirit, God, that's what we are. That explains how we manifest.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Who's to say yay or nay, but that
Right.
complete. In fact, we want to welcome Sentinel to our show and welcome to the Orion Effect. Sarah, I'm not sure if you're saying if you're placing or getting ready to give a thought, or if they're basing it on what your effect of reality, which you just stated. But it's an excellent thought. Keith, light protons are definitely, different.
I got you. You want me to start reading?
Yeah, because my eye,
Okay, light photons act differently when they are watched versus not watched.
Yeah, and that's absolutely. Now, see, we're going to go back now. See, we keep going away from the original core of the story, but this is going to go down another rabbit hole.
This is starting to sound like Outlaws.
Well, kind of. But we also want to welcome Julie. Julie is one of our new travelers, and we want to welcome you. Thank you. That goes back to the whole premise of, if a bear farts in the woods, do you hear it? Does a tree fall? And if it falls, does it really fall because you weren't there to experience it? These are the interesting points of view. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
I need to get back on track and get out of that rabbit hole that you guys are about to take me down, because then I will never shut up. I will not shut up. All right.
Hey, so, you said we could tell you.
That's right. Oh, absolutely. My ass. So we're going to have to do something. Because I call the mass belief effects on reality and orgone effects. Yes, absolutely. Don't say sorry. No sorry.
Effects.
Yeah, that's the beyond theory of what we were considering in the Doppler.
Yes.
Yes. Robert says, "Welcome all. Jump on board the party train of the universe." I'm Skippy. I'm your host, the Doctor. I'm sorry, Ed. All right. So, in the places, let's go and look at Dr. Sims' life. He started out through college. He's been in quantum physics. He created so many unique theories, worked with a lot of great scientists. He got through, created this quantum vision, placed out these. Now, they're saying that he was reaching out. His intent, why he wanted to do this, is he wanted to find other life out there. He believed that there was other life out there, not just here. What they did not expect and what he did not expect is on how many levels these labs were.
Yes. Yeah, he was always obsessed with, as soon as he became a quantum physicist, he was always obsessed with he was driven, wanting to prove that there is multiple universe theory. So he wanted to go through and find a way to prove his theory. And that's what drove him. And it led him to believe into the energies, to where he actually made his device to prove it.
Right.
But
2 years. Was that right? 2 years on the device?
yeah, something like that.
It took him 2 years to create the quantum vision, on which now they feel he was able to, or we think, able to. Let's not get into CERN. Not rabbit hole. Not rabbit hole. Not yet, because CERN plays something into this. Go ahead.
No, Kenny, he was not.
No, he was not part of CERN, though. No, but they do have something to do. It is said by those out there.
Yes, but we're not going down that rabbit hole.
No, we're not. That in this factor, he did make contact with such beings not of this universe, not of this dimension.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, here comes the con. And this is the interesting part, that some of these entities that are out there are not so nice. Go ahead.
What they believe is that these entities are super intelligent, way beyond our levels, and that they feel that with
Sarah, it's too late. It's already happened. I just let you know. Right.
That's why some people theorize that with his disappearance, that he accidentally opened up a portal to go through into this alternate dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And these entities actually took him. And they actually believe that these entities could be hostile.
They were also, some theories believe that this is where, now don't y'all freak out on us. We're not saying are, is, or was. It's a theory that there's a good possibility. This is a theory possibility that one or two or some of these dimensional beings were considering or have been in thought of an invasion coming to our dimension, our world, for whatever reason. Why would our little world have any concern to anybody else? Well, freaking look out. We are the cockroaches in the universe, folks. Yep. We blow shit up for no apparent reason. We have anger, frustration, destruction. Go ahead, Rhonda.
I'm just saying, Jolene just said Back to the Future, and that's what's been in my head. Mm-hmm. I'm picturing the scientists. It's kind of like time traveling. I mean, it's actually
time travel is another part of about this.
Yeah,
that falls into what I don't even think we're going to talk about the Force tonight.
I don't think so either.
No, time travel
Holy moly, we might need a couple parts to this one.
We definitely can.
Yep.
So valid points, and Keith says supposedly 57 known alien species we have had contact so far. That's in this universe. That's in this dimension, Keith. And that's the interesting part.
Now, not the billions of other dimensions and universes out there.
Exactly, which is based on quantum physics. That's called the bubble theory. We are the single bubble of one universe and one dimension in a room the size of a warehouse of several marble size, and it's all filled to the top with little marbles. We are a single marble.
Now, I'm going to bring this up without
Gets
trying
in
to go down a rabbit hole, but when I was doing my research on this, what brought to mind was with these other dimensions intertwining in the bubble
Humanity.
is like when we feel energy changes and energy shifts. We are picking that up. And the reason people's attitudes change and everything is because they don't know how to handle that energy change.
Proven in the spiritual world.
Yes.
That is proven in the spiritual
But who's to say the spiritual world isn't combined with the dimension, the alternate dimension world?
I'm not even, because this would be a rabbit hole. I'm just thinking, as for me, somebody who's sensitive, who connects with spirit, now it makes me wonder, what is spirit? When you leave one dimension, is it just a moving to another? And I'm just connecting with a real soul and a real, like a live soul and another. Oh my Jesus.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what Dr. Nims was talking about.
And some of the pictures that they shown, if they were actually legit pictures from his device, I was mentioning this to him, is that some of these images of these interdimensional beings,
yes,
look like ancient gods.
Yeah, they look like, there's one picture looks like an exact duplicate of the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
So maybe the fact of they didn't come from our universe, they came from another dimension here, created whatever this is, and now here we go. They went to another dimension. Again, I've been saying it for 5 years. Hold tight on this one. I've been saying it for 5 years. Y'all know I have. What happened to the real Egyptians? What have I been saying? Where did they go? Because the Egyptians of today are not the Egyptians of what we knew in history.
No, they're
same
not.
thing with the Mayans. Same thing with the Aztecs. They are not the same people.
Where
did they go?
Even the same with the Greek and the Romans.
Greek and Romans.
Yep.
Exactly right. Greek and Romans, yes, no. They kind of bled themselves up, but the core, I get your point.
The core Greeks were actually Mesopotamians.
Thank you. Exactly.
Alexander the Great. He became the
great. Now I got Iron Maiden in my head.
Iron Maiden's been in my head all weekend.
That's what she said.
That's what I rocked out to my last day.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I need to get up here. Let me get back to this real quick because I am dealing with two systems right now, you guys. So please bear with. The majority of humanity has proven to be unstable. Who out there would be friendly to us? That's what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Renee hits up with the reply to Keith. The Greys can stay over there. There. Yeah, I don't think the Greys are ones you need to really worry about.
No.
Quantum Leap. I would like to watch it now. Vigorously remember the show, just a small piece. Oh, yeah. Well, Quantum Leap was, if those of you who remember Quantum Leap, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Kind of what we're talking about. Joe, where do we go when sleeping?
Yep.
What is astral travel? Astral projection. I mean, if you just think about some of this now, my mind is like going a million miles a minute.
Right. And that's why we're doing this.
When you're talking about your spirit guides and things like that, and even meditation at this point, I'm like,
well, see, that's making me want to share one of my personal experiences that happened this week that I called him about. I was like, dude, what about this theory? And then he told me we were doing a show on this. It's like, all right, let's rock on.
To follow up on what you're about to talk, Sarah says it right there. The term extraterrestrial is incorrect. It's extra-dimensional.
Yes.
Bravo!
See, now this has nothing to do with extra-dimensional beings, but what about time? An alternate timeline. I've had dreams where I've actually dreamt that I was with someone else in my past. And if I wouldn't have made these changes, that could be the life I was living. And it's like over my lifetime, I have had this dream at different periods in my life but it all starts at one point and it carries on like I'm living that life in my dreams.
So is it like Groundhog Day?
Well,
Kinda.
and well, it depends, but that's one level.
Yeah.
That's what we're giving. That's what we're talking about. That's one level. And Signal, very good point. And thank you for stating that. Absolutely. I'm going to follow up with Jim on this. How many of you, and please be honest, how many of you had a dream or several dreams in your childhood that led through to now? And ironically, you know some of those people now that was in your dream then, or there's someone in your dream back then that you're like, I know this person. They're there, but you'll never encounter them because they were never in this dimension. How many of you have had that dream? I have.
Yep.
I've talked to Jim about it this weekend. It was kind of really scary and freaky when my brain started going the fire, brain blast. Here we go. I started calculating again. I wish I had a big whiteboard. Y'all would be so screwed.
Thank goodness you don't.
I know, right? Keep it here. That when we do this, and I love the fact that she brought this up. Raise hand. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. In my theory, when I see and we sleep, do we change? Are we ourselves at certain states of our paralysis? Yes, I use that word properly.
Mm-hmm.
Do we alter our state? Renee, go ahead. I'm sorry, dear. Go right ahead. Sexy hot girl. Me. Sexy. What the hell?
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. Maybe you. Sarah, I've wondered if we might be awake in another dimension and while we sleep here. Now, see,
I've wondered that as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's pulling in the matrix theory. Again, is the matrix theory actually extra dimensional transition?
Could be.
Whew.
I mean, yeah, we could be batteries for robots, but
I mean, even Carrie Lynn said yes, just yes, because now.
Renee says no, saying I have had those dreams. Oh, okay. Very good.
That's what I figured she meant by that.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because I saw the raised hand. I'm like, what you got? Here we are, classroom. I hate that. Anyway, yeah. And it's very interesting to me. And that's what, I have to do things like play games to keep my mind settled like we did this weekend. Because if I don't, I will go crazy. I will stay up all night. I will be on the board. I'll be writing stuff down, stuff I don't even get. But I have these. This is why we sometimes have something to draw our attention away, because sometimes we're still human and we cannot handle the situation on which we are being given, told, or understand. So we have to balance it out. Which one?
Well, you put
that right there, Rhonda.
I just found bacteria growing on my chocolate bar. I guess there is life on Mars.
Thank you. Right? Did you know there's bacteria that crawls into your... Okay, guys, sorry, but this is truth. There's bacteria and parasites that crawl into our bodies every day.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
If we walk on the ground, there's actually parasites that can go up through in our feet. And we walk barefooted every day. Well, some of us. So it's just interesting.
And yes, Sarah, that's actually what I'm talking about in our dreams. Sarah, transference of consciousness from one dimension to another. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's actually what I'm talking about with my dreams. It's going from one conscience to another. I believe that is actually a legit theory.
I agree. With that movie, Adjustment
Bureau?
Yeah. I know what he's talking about. He's not putting it right, but
nope. It's called the Adjustment Bureau.
The Adjustment Bureau, yeah. Demon. Oh, look, hold on. Sinnel, we don't want to get into demons right now because that's a whole ball of wax with this whole situation.
He said Damon.
Hold on. I was getting there, you guys. I know y'all.
Demon is such a bad word.
I know. But Damon and Demon, that can actually fit into what we're talking about tonight, but we're gonna have to do a whole nother show on that.
I think actually this show, our topic, I mean, we've got so much we could talk about. I mean, it's your guys' show, but I would think that we should do this in multiple segments.
Well, it's gonna have to. That's
Agreed.
I'm looking at it and the show's almost over, and I'm like, where the hell? 1 hour? Holy shit balls!
Yeah.
So
Time flies when you have fun.
yay! So
I need to digest some of this.
and that's why I'm glad we do it only in a 1 hour segment for digestion. And I agree. And she put fungus among us. Exactly right. Exactly right. What did you put here, Rob? And they have
Worm pills.
Ta. Yeah, that's good. Oh, look, Shelley Clark is in the house. She is here. Hello, hello.
Hey, Shelley.
You're late. But Rhonda, go ahead and let's see what Shelley has.
I've had dreams that later translated into deja vu moments where I've seen the situation and two decisions to make. I knew the outcome of one choice, but not the other.
Exactly. And that's why I asked about that dream earlier.
Yep. And Shell, I have done that a lot in my lifetime.
Yep.
There's actually moments that's actually happened that has actually saved my life.
You guys outlawed.
Yes. Thanks, brother Keith.
Yes, I think we did, brother. Yes.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. So before we come to the end of the show, because man, did this fly by.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about this because we have paranormal people and we have spiritual people in the chat right now. I think we're misunderstanding the paranormal world and what we're experiencing. I have said this before, but this is the perfect show to talk about it. Before we get into that, we will say, if you go looking for anything for Dr. Daniel Nims, you're not going to find anything.
No.
What we found and what we understood, and from the wonderful YouTubers, by the way, give props to those. Check the YouTube. Look for this. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not a dude. Robert.
I said it too, didn't I? This is going to be an after party, dudes.
Is there going to be an after party, dudes?
Okay, see,
I'm a dudette.
That's your fault right there. Yeah, dudette. I like that. You've always been the dudette. Mine relatively. Time moves more slowly when you're with your relatives. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you know what? That's very true. No, exactly right. And maybe community, family drawn in, you don't pay attention to time because time does not really exist in your point in time when you're having a mental conversation connecting between, because you're going to have continuity between all. Oh my God, stop it. Somebody stop me now. All right. Get away. We're not going to brain blasting. Okay. All right. In the thought process, what we think, and signal, something about you talking about demon, could fit into what we're going to just touch base on right now. We got 5 minutes left in the show. And I'm getting hit left and right by texts right now. My phone's going, word. I'm like, sorry, guys. Maybe I must have hit something good. We did good.
That's why.
Yeah. What we think is paranormal spirit, and use the word spirit, I think is a proper word, because it's not dimensional. It's not just this world that we're connecting and communicating and experiencing. I think, and I'm going to say this, and for you paranormal people, you're about to have a shit, but I'm going to say it anyway. We are causing the problem. Okay? All of us that are researching and doing paranormal research and insight, I feel there's a possibility we, because of technology today, are drawing these entities here closer.
I believe I agree with that, but I also think another way we are doing it is because of all the high emotions. I mean, we've already proven as paranormal investigators that our energy can actually manifest into something else, and it can cause effects to other people.
No, I absolutely agree. Ronnie, you want to read that real quick?
Yeah, when we choose a path based upon a precondition, do we risk screwing up the timeline?
I think so.
Actually, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't think so, because if, like, we're talking deja vu, you see two different outcomes. You take a choice, one or the other. Granted, there's always a cause and effect, but is it going to screw up the timeline? Not necessarily.
Well, here's the thing, and I respect that point. I respect your points, but I'm going to say this: we do not know our human abilities.
No.
So, with that being said, psychics, mediums, energy users, we as humans see us as a material solid mass.
No.
When we go into our energy mass, could we be drawing? So this is theory too. This is opinion. So fact checkers. Rhonda didn't see that, thank God.
I'm pretty sure I know what just happened.
The fact is, we don't know our inner energy ability in the universe. So as we do this manifesting and wanting to see and experience, we're drawing, much like the Egyptians, much like the Mayans, much like that, we're drawing them here.
Yeah.
And now we have technology to help manifest our intent. So we have G5, we have all this electrical all around us now. We are becoming human electrical magnets. So when we paranormal research, we're drawing it closer to us. Hence, Sodom and Gomorrah and the drawing of the Great Spirit to them. Hence, King Solomon's temple, when a certain spirit said, "Why did you wake me?" And on that note, I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Wow, I did it again. So let's get some final thoughts in there. I want to go ahead and hit. I agree with you, Jimmy, because I'm high strung, and
we know that.
Monica, that is hard.
Predestined option makes me wonder, though.
It does.
It does.
Keith, what we do can affect things on the other side of the universe and possibly in dimensions. That exactly
I agree
right.
with. I definitely agree with you, Keith.
Then how can you not agree with what I state then?
Well, I said I do sort of agree, but disagree, because I'm thinking of like the timeline in a whole.
Right.
You're thinking linear.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, couldn't the option be that you're
the main
in different dimensions at that point? You're either in this one or you're in that one.
Yeah. And that's a valid point, because what he just did, as we came together, we just did quantum physics, timeline theory, singular, and mine is webbed.
Yeah.
This proves that there's still so many different theories out there.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting part is we can still communicate without blowing each other up.
Absolutely.
WTF. Humanity, wake the hell up. It's time for us to come together and allow others' opinions. Just saying. Yep. Michelle just went, wow. Sorry. Joe said, don't tickle a dragon when sleeping. Yeah, too late for that one, I do believe. Hello, Ryan. Welcome, and thank you for being here on your vacation. Great show. Was watching on TV. Thank you. And Rob says, hi, Keith. So on this,
but I mean, if what you just said is true, doesn't it all fall back to it's all cause and effect? So it doesn't even matter what dimension you're in, as long as you realize that every action has a reaction or a consequence, you end up where you're supposed to be.
I'm thinking butterfly effect.
Endless amount of possibilities.
Yep.
Have a wonderful evening, travelers. Thank you for being a part of the show. Jim, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me on.
And now you're signed up for a couple more episodes, just so you know.
You are now screwed.
See that?
Travelers and those like, thank you for being a part of this show. Make sure as we all travel together on our cosmic surfboards, we do it and we help each other do it. Even if you fall down, what if you're just stumbling on the board? Get on beside somebody, hold their hand and get us through. We do not need to be the conflictive issue. We need to be helping others to be the solution.
Yeah, don't stand idle either. You see something, do something. If it speaks to you, do it. Be kind. Don't be angry. Don't be hateful.
Be good humans.
Dun da da da. Science!